Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and welcome to the Halal Perspective. Today, we are going to be talking about the women in Islam and how much value we have for them. We're also going to be talking about the good and the bad. And if when we talk about the bad, I will be especially careful because I am not a woman myself, so I cannot speak for the bad, but I will try my best on it. First of all, let's talk about the value of women in Islam. You don't understand how much we care for them. For people who aren't Muslim, they will see these women in hijabs and they will call it oppression. Women who are Muslims will see that as their safety, as them but loving Allah, and and I don't think wearing the hijab is a choice, but more of a commitment. It's not something to be like, okay, I'm gonna wear this hat to this party. No, you are doing this for the sake of Allah. So wearing the hijab is such an important thing, especially being modest and everything. And how much we value them is not only the hijab, we value women in general. The most noble profession in Islam is being a mother, not being a father who works, not being a person who protects, not even being like a sheikh or anything. No, 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 no. The most noble profession is being a mother. Isn't that, doesn't that speak for something? The most noble profession is being a mother. Now, we also have we also always or always supposed to treat women like queens and everything. Of course, that's obvious. But we'll also be addressing the bad. There was this one verse in the English Quran, so it's a bit translated differently, saying how if women misbehave, you should hit them. This has been used for so much Islamophobes, and they always turn it wrong. This is actually not true. See, in Arabic or in Arabic, this is actually translated differently, and even if you are supposed to hit them, in the Quran it specifically says you cannot bruise them, you cannot make and if you hit them and they feel worse after that, then you're in the wrong. So there's so much people just saying you shouldn't hit women at all, which is very true because the reason is we're not old timing anymore. We're not in the old times anymore. So when someone gets when a woman gets a smack on the wrist, if they get mad at it, you're in the wrong. You guys got to remember that. That verse is also and let's if that's saying if the verse is true, but the verse is not true because in Arabic it was translated different. So there's some words in Arabic when they're translated to English to mean different stuff. So it's not actually you're never supposed to hit a woman. And if you don't believe me, do your research on it. You're never supposed to hit a woman. Also, again, as I said, now we're going to be talking about your profession as a man. Not only, I mean, we're not going to be talking too much because I feel like this should be for another topic. But but for men, do you always have to show the utmost respect for women? In Islam, you're supposed to treat women like queens, and any Muslim woman, any true Muslim woman, they will tell you that yes, men treat us as queens. And if men didn't treat you as queens and they were Muslim or they abused you or anything, they weren't Muslim or they used Islam and they turned it on you. They basically stretched some words a bit. These are not Muslims. So you must remember that in Islam, you're never supposed to hit women. You're always supposed to treat women with the utmost respect. If you've been disrespected, if you've been disrespected by a man who is a Muslim, he was not a good Muslim, and that's how it is. Very very plain and simple. Um, it's kind of shway sad when people say you're oppressing women because it's like, bro, we're not forcing them to. It's not like if you're Muslim, okay, you have to put on a hijab. You don't have to. It's just So you're very modest and you're shwaya closer with Allah. Doesn't mean you're a better Muslim than people who don't wear hijab. Someone who doesn't wear hijab could be a better Muslim than a person who does wear hijab. It's just a really good commitment. And what is it called? And for men, they're always supposed to lower their gaze with women who wear hijab, regardless or not. It's not. There's a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people think, oh, you have to wear hijab because men are horny, huh? Because men can't control themselves. That's not it. Men, of course, they get horny sometimes, but that's why Allah asks us to lower our gaze, and they ask the believing woman to cover up, just cause of course sometimes we'll look and we'll be like, oh shoot, we're not supposed to look, and then we get horny because we looked. So that's why it should go both ways. Women should cover up, men should cover up, not as much, because women don't get horny when they look at men, unless they do. Then yeah, that's why we have to cover our belly buttons and above the knee, because that can maybe make a woman horny. And for women, they cover up from their neck to their ankle, because bro, that's why they tell us that's why they tell men to lower their gaze. A lot of misconceptions about that though is that women have to cover up because men are horny. Men can't control themselves. Brother, sister, listen, guys. Allah is telling us for the believing woman and for the believing men to cover up, and for the believing men to lower their gaze. So like this I think in Surah An-Nur, if you wanna read Surah An-Nur or listen to Surah An-Nur, it explains everything you should know. Uh, and last but not least, I just want to tell you guys, for all the believing women who what is it called, who are true Muslims, wallah, it's so beautiful, because for women they have to do it, like they have to cover up and everything. They have to cover up and that stuff. And I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that's hard, because I'm not a woman, so I can never speak through that. I will never speak through saying, oh, it's not hard to cover up, because I'm not a woman. Bis bis for men, for women and for men, I just, wallah, like you guys are so noble for being Muslims, for women and the men. For Because Islam has many rules that are good for you, of course, but it has many rules to keep you well, and you being disciplined enough to listen to those rules, mashallah, wallah, your deen is so high. I still work on this to this day. Again, in my last video, I still have trouble reading the Quran, not because I don't know how to read it, it's just I'm lazy or that stuff. Or sometimes I'm a little late to my prayers because I'm lazy. And astaghfirullah, it's so easy to just get up, because, of course I always ask for repentance and ask Allah to forgive me for praying a little late or not reading the Quran today. Because, of course, it's amazing. I wanted to say one more thing, but I think it's gone in my head. So let's just end it up, and say one more thing about women and the role, the gender roles, which are men go and work, and women cook and take care of the kids. Honestly, I like this a lot, but for women who also like this, I like hey, listen, hey, when I get older, like, contact me. No, 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 but like, what is it called? It's crazy. I feel like it is easier to be a man in Islam than it is to be a woman, because I've never had a thought saying, oh, this is kind of hard, but I've always seen women saying this is kind of hard. And maybe that's just cuz they're either, I can't say that they're bad Muslims for it, because the only thing I see as hard as being a man is maybe if you want to work full time, because it's just your duty as a man. We will talk more about gender roles in the next episode, because our time is running out. So as always, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.